Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. As you can see, we just managed to get things set up, and part of the reason is we have some people who booked slots to pitch and have not shown up, which is an absolute no-no because it prevents other people who wanted to pitch from getting their slot. So please do not do that in the future. All right, well, if you're attending for the first time, this is the 1 Million by 1 Million Virtual Incubators Strategy Roundtable, weekly Strategy Roundtable. We do these for free, and we've been doing this for a long, long time. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue by 2020, thereby helping build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. Of course, that's not a very ambitious aspiration, but that aspiration predicates completely upon the success of entrepreneurs, of you who are in the room today, and we hope that each of you are going to build $1 million plus businesses and make that dream, that collective dream of the community, a reality. So this is our 158th roundtable. Believe it or not, we have been doing this for 158 sessions, and it's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to coordinate people from all over the world, make sure their setups are, will work, and so on and so forth. So this is why you will find me a very unhappy camper if you book a slot and do not show up. That is just very, very irresponsible. And we don't have that very often, but sounds like today we did have that happen, and I'm not pleased with it. So the event is being recorded. It will be available on our YouTube channel, and I will give you the link to that in a minute. And it will also be available on our blog. If you're live tweeting the show, please use the hashtag 1M1M. Our two Twitter handles are at 1M by 1M and at Sramana. These are very active Twitter channels. We publish a tremendous amount of content, really high quality content about entrepreneurship. So if you are looking to follow a Twitter channel that will continuously give you really high caliber material to connect into, please, by all means, follow one of these two handles. Our YouTube channel, as I said, is youtube.com/user/1M1M Roundtables. This one is, again, a very interesting channel full of cartoons and recordings of these sessions. There are hundreds of recordings of these sessions that you can listen to and learn from. And also there is material on the 1M1M program which will help you understand the program better. So it's, again, a very interesting channel, and one of the most fun things in that channel are a bunch of cartoons. There's a playlist with 1M1M cartoons that I strongly encourage you to check out. They're really, really fun entrepreneur jokes. We're going to start with Kerry Silk from Wisconsin. Virtual Freedom is the company. Kerry, if you could unmute your line and come tell us what you're doing, that would be great.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This is very exciting, and it's totally my first time, so bear with me. Again, I have a small company, and I'm just looking to right now start to really kick it up, and 2013 is my year to do that. So I was really lucky to find you online, and I'm very excited to be here. As you see, this is my basic information about Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. Thank you. And I was going to say, if you've ever said, I wish I had the time to, or I need to get to, or if only I had an assistant, then you're right for Virtual Freedom. What I do is provide virtual assistance and train virtual assistants. We are currently quite small, but we work with almost just about anything on the internet. So all those small or large tasks that you don't get a chance to do, we free you up so that you're able to go out there and talk to your clients and sell your products and do what you do best rather than getting bogged down in the little detail. So I think if we go to the next slide, I'm following now along the requirements of what I was asked to speak about, and that was target market. And so solo entrepreneurs, small business owners. So I will say almost all of my, all of my clients are solo entrepreneurs at the moment. But an ability to commit at least $200 a month. I find with solo entrepreneurs, they have a lot of difficulty with commitment and consistency. So that's something I need to tweak and work on. Aware that there is a value in having help. Not everybody, a lot of people, especially solo entrepreneurs, want to work on their own. So in this case, you have to have know that there's a value that you will benefit greatly from having someone take things off your plate. And then clarity in their messaging, that's part of my target audience, because if you don't know where you're trying to go, having me do bits and pieces is just going to be very inefficient. And though I can do a bit to consult business-wise, that's not really where I give my most value. My most value is on the small things. I had a little trouble with unique selling and value propositions, so this is what I came up with. Currently, my niche market has been people that are more in the holistic or alternative field. I work with energy healers, life coaches, physicians, and for some reason, couple direct sellers, but they're all health-related or wellness-related products. So it seems to have kind of niched that way just on its own. One of the benefits I find...
Carrie, what do you do for these people?
What do I do for these people?
Yeah. If you break down actual tasks that you do, what do you do?
What do I do? Facebook posting, in fact, posting on all the social networks. I'm Hootsuite certified, so I do that as well as my partner. We do transcription. We do email newsletters, anything having to do with the internet. If you don't have time to get those shoulds done. The blog articles, I ghostwrite a lot of blog articles as well, set up WordPress pages and WordPress sites.
How do you acquire these customers?
Well, see, currently it's all been referral. I've never actually advertised.
So are you aware of the fact that there is an enormous virtual assistant industry out there?
Yes, I am.
And most of these people actually acquire customers through the services exchanges, like Elab, Desk, and so forth. And we hire virtual assistants all the time, especially from the Philippines, actually.
Well, and I am actually on Elance and just starting with a few of the others, yeah.
So I guess there comes the question is, why would somebody hire you versus somebody from the Philippines at a substantially lower cost?
Well, I find the reason that people are willing to pay me versus, versus someone else, anyone else, whether they're lower cost or higher cost, or is mostly because I'm like-minded with my niche market. So I not only understand the technical side, but I also understand where that particular niche is coming from. People who are in that holistic or alternative fields tend to not like marketing. They tend to not like selling. They don't want to sound like they're selling or marketing. And so we connect and are able to kind of find a good medium point there. And I will say also that a lot of things need to be done in a very timely, quick, and efficient manner. And depending on what it is, sometimes someone from different countries can do remarkably well. And then other times I notice that things like grammar and connecting and spelling and things like that sometimes need to be tweaked. So it's just sort of what people feel comfortable with.
It depends on what is it that you're doing. And I think if you've kind of spelled out a whole different set of stuff. We've talked about writing blog posts. That blog posts there is a whole, people who actually generate a lot of blog posts either, have writing teams, editing teams around them, and like we do, and to hire writers and editors at that point.
Well, if you're a company, yeah, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm talking about solo entrepreneurs that have very small companies in their own home and are just trying to get themselves launched. So
it's the same thing, though. I mean, if a solo entrepreneur, if they're trying to get help for people to write blog posts for them, they would go look for writers, not a virtual assistant. what I'm telling you is these are the keywords on the basis of which hiring takes place. So if you position yourself as a virtual assistant, you're not going to get blog writing jobs because people who are looking for blog writers to help them, even if they're solo entrepreneurs, are not going to look for a virtual assistant to do blog writing.
All right.
That's number one. Number two is you talked about Facebook posting. Well, people who are looking for Facebook posting are looking for people probably to help with social media work.
Correct.
And again, you're going to miss out on people who are looking for that. So the issue here is that somehow or the other, you need to make yourself findable, you know, searchable and findable.
Correct.
And currently, by positioning, when people think about virtual assistants, they think about, you know, one set of actions. Or here's what I would like you to do. I want you to go into Elance, Odesk, you know, all the others, freelancer.com, and all the different exchanges, services exchanges, and study the virtual assistant category of job posts. And find out what people are looking for in virtual assistants. And then I want to also check out the social media marketing kind of posts, and I want you to check out the blog writing kind of posts. And based on that, you're going to need to position yourself, and you're going to need to go after jobs. You need to go bid for jobs. You know, the way these services exchanges work is the employers put in projects and expect people to bid for them. So if you're not bidding on these jobs, and you're going to need to bid for jobs that are specifically on blog writing, perhaps for the holistic industry, or Facebook marketing or social media marketing for the, you could position yourself as virtual assistant for social media marketing. That could be a possibility. And that's how you develop your profile on Elance and Odesk and so forth. And then you need to bid for jobs. Right now, I'm not sure if you're bidding for jobs.
I have bid for one or two just to see how the process works. As I said, I've been doing this since 2005, and it's all been on referral. So I'm just starting to learn what other options are out there to grow it, because I haven't needed to grow it.
So to grow it, you're going to need to on a large number of jobs, and you're not going to get every job, right? If you bid on one or two, you will get zero.
Yes.
If you bid on 20 or 50, you possibly will get 2 to 5.
Absolutely.
So but even in the bidding process, you're going to need to figure out which jobs to bid on, and how to position yourself. Okay. All right. Your time is up, actually.
All right. Well, thank you.
Input.
Thank you.
Okay. Praveen Daryani, are you on the line?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Why are you streaming so much noise into the call?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like I'm in a shared office space. So let me just see if I can find. Just give me one moment. Give me one moment. And Sramana, I'm really sorry for not showing up before, because in the office space we had like internet issues. So just give me one. Okay, awesome. Is it better now?
Slightly better. It's better. Yes, it is better. There you go. That's much better.
Okay. Fantastic. So awesome. Should I get started?
Not better. It's not better.
No.
I mean, I'm going to move to the next person. Why don't you sort out your environment a little bit so that you can actually have a decent call? If you stream that much noise, we won't be able to hear you.
Fantastic. Okay, how about I come next, and in the meanwhile, I just sort this out.
Okay, let me go to the next one.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Okay, so Cool Vigor, and Praveen needs to be muted meanwhile. Maureen, can you mute Praveen? All right.
Sure. All right.
Praveen, please mute your line in the meantime, otherwise you're disrupting the call anyway. Okay, new Cool Vigor, Connect to Freedom. Come on in.
Hi, I'm Kalyani here. Samara.
Hi, Kalyani.
Savarna, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to introduce myself, that I'm a fashion designer by profession with 15 years of experience. But yes, I wanted to, and as the Nuku Vigor is a company which is an online portal, which is online and offline actually. The activities would be both. This company would provide experiences, will sell experiences to the physically or differently abled and senior citizens. When I say selling experiences, I mean we can, take them out for a day trip, for disabled people. And the kind of categories that are three. One is locomotor, vision, and hearing, deaf and dumb. They're the three categories we are catering to. The fourth category we added is senior citizens, because I feel, they get into this mode, they do lose their vision. They actually get into this pretty soon, and it's a 27 million in India as far as the base is concerned. So I thought even that is a very good category that we can target. So the value proposition that we want to really provide as a company is someone who is actually taking care of people who have been actually neglected, be it their family or by society. And I know that because my dad was physically challenged for 4 years because of the stroke. He had a stroke, and we had the money, to provide the best of the things for him. But there was no service for him. We couldn't take him out for a short trip, or we couldn't even plan a holiday for him, because there's no resort or there's no place that would actually take him, for him and for my mom. There's in India, the Jindals is available. They're in Bangalore. They're very good, but then they don't really accept disabled, So that I thought there is a huge market for again, I explained already that the segmentation analysis I've already told, and we're also looking at kids, which I missed out. Kids between 10 to 18, that's the segment 1. Then we have adults with 19 to 28, and then we have 25 to 45, and then that's how we are going. And why I've segmented this way is because there's a special need that I need to provide. Especially for the doctors, nurses.
Segments. This is just not viable. You should pick one segment and work on one segment.
Okay, I get that. It's too wide.
You do not have infinite capital sitting around to infuse into this business, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
unless
I
you
need to just pick one and run with it. I'm sorry, I missed you.
I said unless you have infinite capital, you cannot work with that many segments. And even if you do have infinite capital, I don't recommend you try to do that many segments. I think you should pick one segment. If you want to work with citizens, you should work with senior citizens. If you want to work with disability of a specific kind, maybe you work with blind people, that's a segment. If you want to work with people in wheelchairs, that's a segment. But you pick whatever segment you want to work with, but work with one segment.
I got you. Thank you. Of course, the target, as the definition, okay, it's very important for me. The target customer for me is someone who is learned, who is actually the income is above average or average, and we aim to basically, why we aim to include these people. As I said, people they learn it, they know, they have experienced a lot in their life. Is that at certain point they kind of became disabled, like my dad.
Yeah.
He's traveled the world, but then he suddenly experienced something. So we are looking for those people actually. So and they should have the money to and they're willing to spend on this.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
that.
not an NGO.
I agree with
It's
that.
not an NGO. Yeah, so that's how are we gonna acquire them? Now, that's where I actually wanted your help as well. Of course, the first method that we are planning, if I'm segmenting area-wise, I want to do Delhi first, and then I want to go to various other metros in India, that is Bangalore, Mumbai. These are the two things I want to go. And the phase 3, I will actually look at India. Now, I haven't really worked on the timing yet, but then I would take it a year, then the second year, and the third year, probably like that, And the way I'm going to go.
Some of the ideas that you have here are okay, collaborating with hospitals or doctors, depending on your segment, which segment you're going. If you're going after the senior citizen market, then you could do senior citizen homes, and you can also do hospitals that may want to cater to senior citizen programs. But from an online marketing perspective, you should start a blog.
Okay.
Specifically on whichever target segment you go after, you should start a blog that talks to that segment, of caregivers and of people who are looking to avail of this market. And the chances are the senior citizens themselves are not the ones who are going to be reading the blog. So the people that you're going to be catering to as far as the blog is concerned are the caregivers, are the family members. Like for you, in the case of your father would not be the target customer. The customer is actually you, yourself, who would buy the service or recommend the service to your father.
Yeah, this is exactly I have written on my proposition as well. This is absolutely true. This is what we want. A person who's blind will not be able to really read what we are saying in the website. People who are deaf and dumb are not. It is actually for people like for my mom, who actually was very stressed out taking care of my dad. I really wanted both of them to go for a holiday. So you're absolutely correct, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what our vision is actually. As kids.
You need to craft the product, which may be a service, but you need to productize the service and kind of define the service very, very clearly. What does it mean? Is it taking people out on holidays? Is it taking out for a day trip? What is precisely the segment? What is precisely the value proposition?
Yes, Sramana, there are 4 that we're going to do. There's one, we will take them out for a day trip outside Delhi, which is not very far away, and it is equipped with good hospitals nearby, and we can take care of them in urgency. Second, in these kind of trips, it's a mandatory to have someone from the family traveling with the person. The second proposition is to take them for a 4-hour trip to, sightseeing trips. We can have special buses for them, and they can actually, that's one thing. Now, the third thing is we really want to call each of them for dinner. That's an event, and we're going to do it in a very good hotel and we will actually plan out and chart out what are the events that we're going to have in that 2 or 3 hour of dinner or lunch or in a very, very good hotel like Le Meridian or something, and we can ask them to just pay for these kind of services. So the 3 that are, and the reason why we want to do this is that they do go to these hotels with their families, but what we want to bring forth here is that they can mingle and talk to their own peer group. So that so that's one of the things that we want to, and we're going to call this a little forum. We'll start as forums, and these are 3 things that I want to do.
Good. I think there is a need. There is no question there is a need. I think you should continue to work on it. You need to very tightly segment and very tightly define the product and start validating.
Okay, so the customer, I just wanted to go back because I wanted to ask something, Sramana. Of course, we have created the Facebook and we've got the interest. I've got a doctor who's interested in this. I've got some, and you know, Sramana, I want to run this company by disabled itself.
But don't put too many constraints on yourself, okay? You don't need to run this company with disabled. You can run the company with normal people and cater to disabled.
Okay.
Okay. If you're too hung up and put too many constraints yourself, as it is, succeeding in business is a very difficult thing. Entrepreneurship is a tough journey. You're embarking on this journey, and the problem that you're trying to solve is not an easy problem to solve. You'll see it's going to be operationally tremendously complex to scale this thing, to get it to any substantial level. You know, the way we kind of look at it is if you want to build $1 million company out of this, it's not going to be a walk in the park exactly. So if you put more constraints on them by only hiring disabled people, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, I got it. The second thing I want to know is that the market size and segmentation is in question for me, because the census of 2011 is not out yet, and I really don't know the actual size. Of course, I know it's 70 million for disabled and 27 million for senior citizens, but I really don't know how many are above average. You know, the income group is. And in Delhi, how many, in Bangalore and Mumbai, there are how many. So, you know, to plan out a financial plan, my marketing plan, you know, my basic need, the market size, I don't know. I'm not sure of. So how to deal with this?
So, you know, I mean, you could deal in some rules, right? There is just, you know, things about how many people are working in the IT and IT-enabled services in India, for example. It's just an example. I think there are 4 or 5 million people just working in that industry. So if you take that number, that actually puts you in a decent income level. These are people who are in a decent income level. And you know, you can assume that some percentage of those families, whether it's their parents or grandparents or somebody in that pool has the need. So it doesn't really matter whether you have 27 million people or 50 million people or 70 million people, as long as there are, you know, several million people, you can go from 0 to 1 million on the basis of that. So at the moment, I would I think there is, anybody looking at the opportunity will understand that there is a sizable market here. But more importantly, you're going to need to figure out how to cater and how to service the market. I think the need is there, as you are hearing from people, the need is there. The market is a large market. I think anybody can get that. So the real question is, how are you going to cater to that market?
Good. Thank you. And the second question that I want to is financials. I need to know how I can plan it properly. Like, given 1 and 2 more partners will put in initial money, I just want to know, should I really look for VC or should I go for bank loan? You know, there is one VC who has already is interested in putting the money. I'm a little hesitant at the moment.
Not get any VC money right now. You're not at a stage that you can attract VC money. So you have friends and family money right now. And even banks will not loan you any money at the moment, given the stage of the business.
Yeah, it's just at the concept level, and we're just 2 people who are really working on it. And
there's no external financing possible at this stage of the game.
Okay, and so the last question that I want to know is that in terms of equities, there are 2 partners, and it may increase to one more. So how to really go about equities?
It depends on what people's roles are, and you split the equity based on people's roles. If everybody's going to pull equal weight, you'd split the pie up in equal percentages. If not, if you are the main driver and the others are secondary players, you are the real founder, then you take more, the others take somewhat less, and so forth.
But in terms of money, if they're putting the same amount of money?
No, if the people are putting money, then it will have to be based on money, yes. Money, absolutely. There's going to be a money share. So this I can't do your cap table right now on the fly. You can join the program. We'll talk about the program later. But let me first, you know, to do your full equity cap table, I will need to work with you much more closely. I'm going to have to move on to the next presenter, sorry.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Kalyani. It's a good idea. You should pursue it. I think you can build a business out of it.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, who's going next? Is Praveen ready, or should we go to the next person here?
Hey, I'm ready. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Let me go back to your slide.
Fantastic.
Okay, go on.
Okay, awesome. So, I'll start. Hey guys, my name is Praveen Daryani. I am originally from Mumbai. I stay in New Zealand, and right now I'm in Santiago, Chile, as a part of Startup Chile. And the project I'm working on is called Content Forest. Next slide. So essentially, Content Forest is an expert content network. And before I actually talk about the project, let me talk about the problem. Now, as we all know, content is, as far as information, traffic, everything is concerned, content is king. And especially due to the fact that brands, especially these days, are using content marketing as a main source of, getting more traffic, and the whole pull marketing is coming into effect. The demand is increasing even more. And on the other hand, if you notice, traditional publishers, it's hard to keep up. For them, it's hard to manage the, paying their in-house writers monthly subscription, that kind of monthly retainers to write content. And for example, New York Times, firing journalists. I mean, this thing is becoming a big, regular thing that the traditional publishers are letting go, and they're open to more content, quality content, but at the same time, they want it cost efficiently. And so the next slide. Awesome. And so this is where we come in. So what Content Forest does is it's like instead of an ad network, it's a content network, and you connect quality experts and journalists with publishers. And so next slide. So what happens is it's a source for experts and journalists to get more writing gigs, so basically guest blog and obviously get paid for it. On the other hand, for brands, which includes traditional publishers and brand publishers, to source more quality content. Now,
Praveen, I have a question here.
Sure.
Are you assuming that experts are just writing articles, or are experts writing articles for specific publications?
So the thing is, the way it works is this, right? So if I'm an expert, I go on the platform, I can either pitch to a particular publication, or I can pitch in the open market. What the open market is about, that all publishers can see my the idea, and they can all raise interest. So once I see, okay, these many publishers have raised interest, and I can select one of them who I want to work with, and then the job process starts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're trying to basically create a content exchange.
Exactly. And
business model?
So the business model is we get 20% transaction fee from every content piece that is sold through the thing. And we also just built a project management tool. So right now, as I'll show in the later slides, we are only concentrating on the technology market. Like that's our niche right now. So we are, actually I'll move on to the next slide and I'll talk a bit more about this. So we are concentrating on technology, and we're already working with, folks like Smashing Magazine, web appers, like a lot of big technology publications, and on the other hand, even experts who've written books for PackPub, Lynda.com, BDC, and all these, kind of publications. So we are in private beta right now. So we're concentrating on only technology, but this is, so as far as the network model is concerned, the 20% is only for the network. We're also building a project management tool that any publisher can use. So what I mean by that is like any newspaper, magazine, or online blog can use to manage their in-house team. So it's like a two-way thing. So the publishers can use it to manage their in-house team and also to source content from outside in like one dashboard instead of using like Excel sheet, email, Google Docs, and all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if those two are necessary. One is necessary for the other. I think the content exchange, if I were you, I would just focus on the content exchange and forget about the project management tool. Because that's hard enough to solve.
No, definitely. And the thing is, like, we are, that's exactly what we're concentrating on. It's just that with the same features, we also noticed some other publisher came to us and said, hey, can I manage my in-house team? And we were like, why not spend like a week, which we already did, and just create out of the same features as project management part of it as well, so that can be shipped to any publication. So we're just trying it out, but the main focus is definitely on the network,
So talk to me about the validation. Where are you in terms of publications? Where are you in terms of experts? What's the situation right now?
Right. So before I actually started this project, the agency is still on, but I own an agency called Course, and we again worked with only technology companies, helping them with their marketing. So we ended up working with a lot of publications and brands and sourcing them, high quality content. And so we were already doing that, and that was a very successful business. We were like, it's not successful as like we were just when we started, it was already like 3,000-4,000 net per month, and it was like we couldn't handle any more orders, right? So Content Forest was a way to actually productize the thing so we could actually scale the thing, because in that case, when you were doing it manually, we had to get like an account manager, to manage this and all that kind of stuff. So this is as far as the validation part is concerned. And now what happened is that we launched the product on the 3rd of December, and we've right now got, it's in private beta, so we've got 46 publications, technology publications, mostly in the web design, web development industry, and these are like these top publications. And also 112 experts, again, top experts, authors of technology books, all that kind of stuff. And so what happened was we were getting a lot of transactions wherein some of these experts wanted to only guest blog, so they weren't concerned about the money part, so there were loads of these kind of transactions. But actually today was like the first transaction wherein a publisher purchased one of the ideas. So today we actually had our first paid transaction on the platform. And what the thing is, Sramana, is that on the 3rd of December, when we shipped the product, it was full of bugs. It was like full of weird. So one of the things I made sure is that as soon as possible, I just ship it out. And it was like in 1 month, we pretty much built the entire product, shipped it out, got the people, and according to them, it was, so this much time was a lot of like bug fixing, and people were like, oh, this entire notification system is not working. And we were like, we've not actually built notification at all. Like we didn't tell them, but then we started working on that, So right now is the time that we are like totally pushing and stuff. So I actually hired 5 marketing interns, and we concentrated, because I ended up doing the same type of sales and support. I was like, that's on a high leverage activity I should be concentrating on, and it's already, so basically right now we are full on focusing on doing cold approaches to the technology people we want to work with, and on the 15th of Feb we're going to do like a public launch. And what we're doing is we're concentrating on only high value industry. So, in technology content, it's between like $80 to $250 per content piece, right? But if you know about these other marketplaces like Elance, Text Broker, Scripted, they concentrate on like normal writers who can write about anything and everything. So we are only working with like actual experts, and we have a screening process for that. We manually approve them. So even after the technology market, we do the entire thing here. And also, then we are planning to launch like business and marketing, real estate, these high value niches where the expertise is needed, not that anyone can join in. Does that make sense?
Okay, now I have a question here, which is actually one of the determining questions for your strategy. Are you going to let experts place content even if they're not getting paid?
Even if they're not getting paid?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, so yeah, so the thing is, it's definitely we are going to let them do it for free as well if they want to. But the whole idea is this. Right now, what we're doing is, let's say the publications we are working with, web appers. Now they are like, I don't know, 9,000 Alexa. What they do right now to get their guest blogs is tell, hey, email me or fill this form and tell me your guest blog idea. Once they get that guest blog idea on the email, they check the author, they try to verify the project. It's all broken. So what we're also doing is working with these publishers, so they make Content Forest the solo way of getting all their content stuff, because what makes sense, right? Right now, they'll be able to see all the pitches in one dashboard, their profiles, they check their previous thing, accepted, project management, the whole thing in one dashboard. So that way, because we keep it, because most of these people who will be pitching would be for free, I don't know, but most of them at the same time will be for money as well. You know what I mean? So if we don't keep it for free, these web publications wouldn't be like, okay, this is my solo way of doing it. But once they get on and they are ready to even pay for it, so it makes more sense. So it's kind of like a way of Yeah.
I think the issue is that there are actually lots of people who would be willing to use your system just to access the publications, who are okay with taking a content for free, in which case you would be pushing a lot of content around from the producer to the publications and not making any money off them.
Right. You
One
know,
thing
so
that you're gonna
thought about.
One thing I would think about is that if somebody is constantly pushing free content to the publication, or if a publication is constantly using free content from producers, you may want to charge them subscription fees. Maybe the first 10 pieces are free, after which they need to pay a subscription fee.
Exactly.
You know, very good. Exactly. I mean, we don't have that model in place right now, but definitely in terms of like what we were thinking was, you know, the producers, like the content creators can pitch maximum of like one free, you know, thing per day or something like that. So they are very restrictive in terms of they can do it very limited, and for other things we charge them. We are something like that. But that's a very good idea. I'm actually not sure about that, what we should do exactly, but I was like, you know what, it is another main focus right now. If we constrain on that, we lose the initial, you know, value creation and stuff. So I was like, okay, skip that, but let's skip that for now.
Yeah, get people not using it. I mean, for instance, we would use your service if you can, you know, provide selling, and we don't pay that much money for content. However, we constantly get offers for people wanting to write guest columns, and we don't have any organized way of managing that. But if we streamline that, and had hundreds of producers who are aligned with our audience, we would use your service.
Fantastic. And you know, that's a whole, so I'd love to, like, you know, have you guys check it out and like start using it. I'd love to get your feedback. And it's exactly, can you, like, you know, the kind of pain you were telling me is the same pain these other publishers have as well. And, you know, the whole fact that they're so disorganized, like even if, let's say, a producer gives you an idea, you have no clue. You need to background check on the producer. You need to see what kind of content, and then they don't get that to you, all that kind of stuff, you know.
We work on both sides of this equation. We also have a tremendous number of syndication relationships where we syndicate our content to a variety of publications and work with a lot of editors. You know, we could connect you with all of those people, and you could get, you know, lots of people's feedback to, you know, move this forward. It's a good idea.
Thank you.
I like it. I don't know how big a build out of it, but it's definitely addresses a problem.
Thank you. It's really good to hear that. And you know, another thing is, Sramana, like right now, one of the things we're doing is we are continuously talking to our people. Like we're getting on phone calls, like, you know, 10 phone calls a day, that kind of stuff. Everyone in our team. So one thing we've learned is that although this is the thing we're going by, people need these small, you know, other tools and add-ons. So one of the ways is that if a lot of people come on board, even if it's like free initially, you know, then later we can sell them like subscriptions of, you know, like imagine a editor which does, you know, all your content, like it optimizes your content automatically, those kind of things. I'm not sure about the exact things. We'll figure it out along the way, but it's kind of like the network is just like a initial base to start many other things related.
So, but keep going. I think there's a very promising business here. Now, are you doing this all from Chile? Is the plan to scale in Santiago?
No, not at all, actually, because the thing is, the main market is obviously the US, and that's what, you know, we've been working with all the time. And now what's happening is right now we're in Santiago, Chile, obviously because it's part of Chile, but the program gets over in the month of May. So I'll be going to the US for like a month, and I have a speaking engagement in one of a good conference about in the content space. So but definitely US is...
To be in the US to do this business, you can do it from anywhere, right?
No, definitely. No, it's not because of that. I'm just telling you, I'm just going there for like a 1 month visit, just to attend conferences and stuff. But definitely this visit, you know, this business can be done from anywhere. That's not I'm not too focused on where I will be. So that's not a big issue at all. I'm just saying that as far as going to the US, connecting with actual, you know, going to the trade shows just and see what's going on, it's just, I'm going to do that in the month of May for a month. But yeah, definitely, like the location is independent. And we've got people from all around the world already, you know, working from here. So that location is not a problem.
Okay. All right. Good. Interesting. Very interesting presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move on. If you could mute your line, Praveen, and let's bring on Shobhit Rastogi. Shobit, you unmute your line. Are you there? Shobit is not there, okay? Okay, who's there next? Is Neil there?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
All right, go ahead, Neil.
Hi, Neil Lick is my name, and my company is Here We Are. And my business is basically a service, and listening to what I've been hearing from folks today, it's all about how to find genuine prospects, acquire paying customers for your products and services, amongst the audiences that have immediate need and money to spend and authority to buy. I've got a specific road plan for doing that. And the reason why I developed this is I find, as we've seen today, folks have excellent ideas, not quite focused on, is it a market, where is my target audiences, why would they even care about me, and how do I outcompete them? And that's what I do with folks. Next slide, please. Today, as we know, our markets, cash isn't easily parted with. So we've got to have a value which, for our target audience, they're willing to spend on. It's got to be very meaningful. Also, when people look for things, we aren't first on the scene. Basically, once a need arises, that's when people begin to look for and search for solutions, and they do it on the web. We've got essentially, and everything's a commodity approach, so we've got these things to contend with, and getting our idea and our products and our services into the markets, in front of the people who, because right now they have need, will be open to us in terms of saying yes to what we have. Next slide, please. So the real question is, how do you gain traction? How do you get yourself noticed? Control the process of acquiring the customer that you want. It's important to understand that, because the difference between a great idea and success is acquiring those paying customers and knowing how to do it. How do you proactively find where these logical target audiences hang out online and offline, so you can learn what they're thinking, so you can...
Neil, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm interested in what your business is.
I offer consulting services on how to accomplish this for startups and for small-sized businesses. Okay, so how do you compete with 1M1M? One-on-one, and I also do it online, and I also do
how do you I'm asking you a question. How do you compete with, from your business strategy point of view, how do you compete with 1M1M, for instance, and a variety of other services out there?
Well, I apply my approach. If you let me finish, it will basically be this. What I train people to do is to go online, figure out what their target audiences are talking about, what they're worrying about, where they're having conversations.
No, but that is the value proposition. How do you acquire your customers? Who is your customer? What is the precise definition of your customer?
Customer is a startup business or a business with 1 to 50 people.
In what category? That's
it
also very...
Matter.
25 million businesses in the United States.
Doesn't matter. The category isn't the issue. The size and the need is the issue. I've got 25 clients right now that are small and medium.
Category is the issue. Category is the issue. If you do not position yourself in terms of your service, where you can, so I'll tell you, we focus on startups in the IT and IT-enabled services space, where we are extremely good.
Okay, I see what you mean. Mine are service-oriented businesses that can be viewed as commodities. Lawyers, doctors, landscapers, web service managers, the original presenter today, Kerry, they're service-oriented businesses. Because a lot of these folks think that by offering a service, they will immediately acquire paying customers, and that's just not the case.
So how many customers do you have today?
I've been doing this for a short while, about a year. I've got 24 active customers.
And what is the distribution of these customers? What kind of customers are they? What are the profiles of these customers?
One is a web designer, and what we worked on was how he could be different than the rest of other web designers, find his target audiences online, because he can show them how to acquire paying customers through target audiences, and in the web, that he designs for people, the three most important things to the market that his clients are served, they're right there. You click on them. In other words, it fits the person. It fits the people looking. I also have security industry business, wherein, because people buy it precisely the moment they need things, how do you get in front of the appropriate key decision makers who have need, money, and the ability to pay so that you can open the conversation? How do you go online in various social medias, and it's not Facebook, where people are...
So I'm going to give you my piece of advice here. You are all over the place.
That's correct.
And that's not the way you're going to succeed.
So
if I were you, I would pick one segment. Let's say you really specialize in lawyers, you know, helping lawyers acquire customers. Or you specialize in landscapers acquiring customers, and really fine-tune what is it that they should do, and then you teach that and you know, consult on that, and I think you'll be a lot more successful.
I think
with
you're
one
absolutely
segment.
right.
Honestly, the things that you were talking about in differentiating a web services companies, I can tell you, you have no clue how a web services company works.
Well, the guys changed their webs completely, and they've acquired 15 customers in about a day's time as a result.
Okay.
I don't have to have the clue on how it works. I understand what you're saying. I'm not designing a web or web service. I'm saying to them, what does your client have to do with the web? Why does it exist? And how do you help them acquire on landing pages and other ways when the clients get there so they say, hey, that's me, and they contact you? I don't know how to design or build a web. I'm talking about the content that works. There's a difference.
Right.
You are right in instructing me to maybe pick one or two segments.
Pick one or two segments. The same thing I would ask you, or you would ask the web services firm to do, is to pick a segment. Otherwise, it's impossible to differentiate in vacuum, right?
I'm agreeing with you.
And their mother is your customer. I hope I'm preaching to the choir here, because
you're
it's
correct.
very basic marketing strategy.
Right now, my customers are diversified, but the reality of growth, and you are so right, and thank you, for just pulling me in and making me realize this. The reality of growth is pick a segment or two where you can become expert in it, where you do know it well, where that carries forth its credibility.
It's a tried and true strategy.
Yeah, that works.
One of our really successful members in the program has an email marketing service that he has positioned for real estate agents. They help real estate agents generate prospects through a referral marketing service.
Yeah.
And this could have been applied to any segment where there is direct selling involved and prospecting involved, but they haven't gone to try to boil the ocean. They have gone and focused on real estate agents, and they're growing marvelously.
Makes sense. Makes absolute sense.
Okay, that's my 2 cents. And as I said, I hope I'm preaching to the choir here.
No, you are. I'm understanding it thoroughly and totally, and we'll do that. And my approach does work, but to grow it.
I hope it does. Otherwise, you can't build a business unless you can generate successful customers. You will not be able to generate business. But I think if your approach works, and if you take your approach and apply it to a segment, and then really grind that segment to position yourself as the big authority, big voice in that segment, you're going to win.
You're absolutely right, and that's exactly what I will do. And I appreciate the insight, because that's going to allow me to grow exponentially instead of, 1 or 2 customers at a time. It will also allow me to actually do this well, accurately, and on a much larger scale. So thank you. The insight is absolutely right, and I will do that.
Good. Okay, we are going to move to the next person. Oh, actually, Maureen, is that it then, in terms of presentations? Okay, so Shobit is not showing up. All right. Okay, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about 1M1M, and then we're going to go to audience question Q&A. I know there are a lot of people in the room, and I'd love to know you. I'd love to hear from you. So give me 7 to 10 minutes to orient you to what we do in 1M1M, and then we're going to have an open discussion. So before we dive in though, I would like to request you to help us a bit. If you like what we're doing, and we're doing it for a long time, week after week after week, we would like you to refer 1M1M to 10 serious entrepreneurs in your network. You know, it's maybe friends, it may be family, colleagues, whoever is either an entrepreneur or is serious about becoming an entrepreneur, maybe an aspiring entrepreneur, maybe they still have a job and are, you know, planning their course of leaving that job and starting something. Please refer them to 1M1M. We have a tried and true template right now that is working really well in the domain of IT and IT-enabled services, and we definitely can help them make real serious progress. So 1M1M, you'll find the site at 1mby1m.com. Mission again is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. Here are the resources. There is the blog at sramanamitra.com. The blog basically gives you access to an enormous amount of free content. And that content will help you learn from other people's journeys, other entrepreneurs' journeys, thought leaders' perspectives of where they see open opportunities, what trends they see, and so on and so forth. So follow the blog. If you're working in technology, follow the blog, and you will learn a lot. Then we have the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, which is the first body of work that I did between 2008 and 2010 to start synthesizing what I saw across the industry in terms of entrepreneurship best practices, you know, for early stage entrepreneurs. So what we've done here is trace the journeys of entrepreneurs in form of case studies and then provide you with analysis and synthesis on how to put one foot before the other. The books are available on Amazon and Kindle, and in India it's on Flipkart. It highlights two core philosophies of 1M1M. One is bootstrapping, the other is positioning. The blog is at, as I said, sramanamitra.com, and this is what that looks like. This is what the blog looks like. In addition, we do these free roundtables almost every week, and we have had over 15,000 people participate in these roundtables. We've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. So we have a ton of experience of being able to get through to your issue very rapidly and give you quick, actionable feedback on the spot. In 10 minutes of conversation, we can promise you that you will get some insights. Then we have here, by the way, you can register for the free public roundtables on the site, and you have all the entire calendar on the site as well as registration pages. Then we have the premium program, which is a $1,000 annual membership fee for extensive methodology guidance. We have a great curriculum. I'll tell you more about the curriculum in a bit. We also help you with business development. We make a lot of introductions. So Praveen was talking about a certain segment, publishers and writers. We are deeply connected into that segment. We've been in that segment for 6 years. And we, you know, whenever possible, we will connect the dots. We will connect you to potential customers, potential channel partners, and so on and so forth. We also help you with this kind of strategy consulting. What are we doing here? We're doing strategy consulting, right? And that's what we do in the premium program as well at a much deeper level. Similar format, but members only, much deeper format engagement. And then we also help you, if you qualify, for financing. We will help you prepare for financing if you have a business that has the dynamics of a fundable business. We do a lot of work in media relations. We have tremendous amount of clout in the media, and we put that clout to work to make you visible. So that's one of the value propositions of the program, is to give you access to our clout in the media. Okay, let's give you some other pointers of things that you may be able to use right away. There's a 1M1M self-assessment. It's a 9-point questionnaire. You can just go to the self-assessment page and go and assess yourself, calibrate yourself against those points. That's something that I recommend that you do. And if you're a premium member, there are curriculum modules attached to each of those questions through which you can plug your own gaps in the learning. Okay, 1mby1m.com is the site. These are just screenshots from the site which describes the mission of the program and the program itself. What to expect from the premium program is something that you will find a link to from the left panel, and you can study more there. There are a ton of video messages, both on the YouTube channel as well as you will find links to it from the site itself that give you video FAQs essentially. It will answer questions, specific questions about how to use the program, how do we do different things in the program. The curriculum is something that I want to tell you a little bit about on how we do the curriculum. We have, for the last 6 years, developed hundreds of case studies of successful entrepreneurs. We have invited successful entrepreneurs to come into the forum and discuss how they have succeeded step by step, putting one foot before the other. That is the best collection of case studies in early stage IT and IT-enabled services entrepreneurship anywhere in the world, including the top universities. In addition, because of our long history of working with you in these kinds of sessions, both the public sessions as well as private sessions, we have developed a deep understanding of what kinds of issues you are dealing with. And that will give you, we have basically triangulated these two bodies of work, the case studies that provide solutions and the coaching sessions that have given us insights into the questions and the issues. We've triangulated those two and created this immensely powerful curriculum that is delivered in form of video lectures and case studies. It is about 150 hours of curriculum right now. Every month we add additional material, and you can basically do the core curriculum in about 50 hours, let's say, and you need to reserve another 50 hours to do maybe the electives. The core curriculum consists of 7 modules, and we recommend that you do all 7 modules, and you will become, just by doing that, you will become an orders of magnitude more sophisticated entrepreneur just by spending that time in studying that part of the curriculum. Those 7 modules are bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, positioning, customer acquisition, team building. On the elective side, we have specific industry trends against which we provide elective modules. Web 3.2 and e-commerce, we do a tremendous amount of work in web businesses, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, and gaming. Those are our elective categories. So basically, you will have a tremendous amount of templates and guidance and specific input on the specific issues that you have to navigate in navigating your 0 to 1 million journey and beyond by leveraging the curriculum. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups, okay? So it's not, if you decide that you need $5 million out of the gate, that is not what we do. You can get to $5 million. Some of our companies have gotten to $5 million in financing, but they have had to bootstrap the early stage in a very, very lean, capital efficient way, and we have shepherded them through that process. You're going to need to do that yourself. There's an article actually on Xconomy called the 1 Million Club. You may want to check that out. Maureen can give you the link that actually introduces you to a whole bunch of our companies. And that article actually is publishing right now on our blog as well in a series format. Okay, here is another screenshot which you can access through the blog of the coverage we provided for our premium members. There's a tremendous amount of coverage that we have generated for our premium members. So you can contrast that against, a good PR agency costs $15,000 a month minimum. And if you have to access that, you know, you're going to basically have to shell out a significant amount of money. We provide all this work with media relations for a $1,000 annual membership fee. On top of everything else we do, we provide you with hundreds of thousands of dollars of strategy consulting, again, for a $1,000 annual membership fee. And why is that important? Because our mission is to democratize entrepreneurship incubation, entrepreneurship education, strategy consulting, you know, media reach, all of these things that today small businesses cannot afford. We are trying to bring you all that at a very affordable price, at a tremendously, you know, scalable model. Anyone from anywhere in the world can leverage these services. We also give you access to our Twitter channel, and with that, it's basically our entire social media channel. We do a tremendous amount of work in social media. And study this module. Actually, you can access this module from our website. Again, we have a Twitter channel that shares 200 messages a day and steering towards interesting, compelling content. And we let our entrepreneurs publicize themselves through that channel as well. That channel then plugs into our LinkedIn channel as well as our Facebook channel. I have about 14,500 subscribers on Facebook currently, going up every day, and we have another 14,000 subscribers connections on LinkedIn. So all this publicity that we do on social media feeds into all those channels, and again, we give you access to all of that. So, you know, again, media-wise, we do another thing which is called the 1 million by 1 million incubation radar. If you are a company being incubated in our system, once you get to a certain level of validation, we feature you in on our incubation radar, and there are lots of investors and industry people who follow the incubation radar, so people start generating inbound leads, whether it's investment-related leads or customer-related leads. Again, another way of reaching your audience. So that's pretty much it about the program. We can take questions in a minute. We do have an affiliate program. If you are an entrepreneurship development organization somewhere in the world, we'd be happy to work with you. Please reach out to us and study the affiliate program page on the website. On the bottom navigation bar of the home page, you will find information about the affiliate program. These are the upcoming free roundtables. We pretty much have one every week. And you can book your slot to pitch. Let's go to questions. Please, audience, set your chat to send to all participants. That way everybody in the room can see your questions, and I will go to public chat in just a moment. A quick pointer, if you're working on Indian businesses or if you're looking for opportunities, ideas to work in businesses in India, Vision 2020 is a good source of ideas. It has $45 billion business ideas. You can buy the book on Amazon or Flipkart. So let's see what's showing up on the public chat. Neil, you said it would have been nice to at least explain how I approach my clients with a way of thinking that gains them business without competition, not a bit of value proposition, our differentiation versus others. How we facilitate using social media. Okay, that's fine, but your presentation was going a little bit long, and we needed to move to other people as well.
You gave us the opportunity to be long-winded.
Yeah, so Neil, for the moment, I think we have given you your opportunity to pitch as well as get some feedback. I'd like to give that opportunity to the, you know.
Leave it be. I understand.
Okay. Right, thank you. Appreciate your understanding, Neil.
Would have liked the opportunity to explain how I work, because it's a business, and I was looking at
Neil, that's it for now. I would like to let other people participate in the program. Please let me run the program the way we want to run it.
All right, thank you.
David says, elevator pitch. If you have 3 minutes with the richest person in the world in an elevator, what would you say? Are you asking that about 1M, David, or are you asking Neil that question? Responding Neil's question. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Other questions, comments, ideas, thoughts, and also introductions. Please tell us where you're joining from, what project are you working on. This is also a networking session. We see a lot of networking happening in this session. If you're here for the first time, you're probably not familiar with the rhythm of it, but do tell us where you're coming from, what are you working on. We'd love to know you. Met people today at the, amongst the presenters. We've had people from Chile, from India, from Marlborough, Massachusetts. Where else do we have people from? David from Mexico. The Mexican social entrepreneur on a diplomatic mission in the U.S. Okay. Maureen is part of the 1M1M program. In fact, she is the producer of all these roundtables, and she does a phenomenal job keeping all of you on track. Joan from Barcelona, and Obike from London. Fantastic. Brahma from the UK. It's such a pleasure, guys, for me to meet all of you from all different parts of the world, and I think everybody enjoys being in this very international setting. We have people from really literally all over the world joining these programs, and we love having you here. We love listening to your pitches. We love listening to your ideas and what you're working on. And what is fascinating for me, and what has been fascinating for the entire time that we've been working on this for all of us, is that today really entrepreneurship is happening all over the world. And the fact that we are able to kind of democratize the tribal knowledge that we have accumulated here in Silicon Valley and help entrepreneurs all over the world leverage that knowledge, leverage those best practices, is tremendously satisfying for us. And if you read the article, the $1 Million Club article that Maureen just put on your screen, you will meet about 8 or 10 1M1M entrepreneurs who have joined the $1 Million Club. And I just wrote this article with some guidance on best practices as well as pointers to some common mistakes. And you'll find how interesting, again, all over the world, different kinds of businesses, and it's got a lot of insights into what investors are looking for. So if you are chasing investors, chase investors with the right ammunition. Don't chase investors where you are designed to fail. You need to learn what investors are looking for and how to position yourself for investments. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, thoughts, introductions? All right. If not, then we're going to move on, and if you want to pitch at the next session, please contact Maureen and she will make sure that you have a slot. And my humble request to you is that if you book a slot, please do not waste the slot, because it's a tremendously complicated job for us to allocate resources, right? These slots are popular. People are asking for these slots all the time. So if we give you a slot and you then don't show up, then we do not have the other people who were interested readily available to use that slot. So please do not waste the slots. Okay, folks, thank you very much, and you can get in touch with us through the website. If you're trying to talk to somebody at 1M1M to learn more about the program, please contact Irina Patterson at irina@1m1m.com. I've put that email address on your screen. So if you want to join the program and if you want to talk to somebody to ask questions, and you can talk on Skype, you can talk by phone, Irina would be your person, your contact. All right, folks, thank you very much for coming today, and good luck with the rest of your week as well as your businesses. Bye-bye, everybody.